Morning Becomes Eclectic at KCRW. I'm Nick Harcourt, your host. It's been a little while, probably last summer we first started playing some music from the Editors. Their CD, The Back Room, is about to come out in a month or so. We'll get the details from the guys in a moment. I'm actually in New York at the Museum of TV and Radio today, but the guys are in the studios in Santa Monica. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Hello. Hello.
I know we're going to chat and catch up on all sorts of things, including football teams, soccer, I should say, and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to throw it over to you for a set, and then we'll come back and chat. How many songs in the first set? I didn't get the facts.
We'll do four songs in the first set.
All right, it's the Editors on Morning Becomes Eclectic.
I still love the light on, baby. Kiss me awake, but I don't mind. Everything I always wanted is right here, but soon it won't be. Oh, for to babe is the brain. I am as poor as they come. I got a million things to say. I got a million things to is right here, but soon it won't be. Oh, the fortune fades the brain. I am as poor as they come. I got a million things to say. I got a million things to Ed, I'm ready. Well,
excuse the tuning.
If something has to change, then it always does. If something has to change, then it always does. You told me this disease, not right now. No, you told me this disease, not right now. Oh, you don't need this disease, 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 you don't need this disease. If something has to give, then it always will. Well, if something has to give, then it always will. Oh, you don't need this disease, not right now. No, you don't need this disease, not right now. No, no, not right now. You don't need this disease, 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 you don't. Would you fall down? Would you fall? Would you fall? Would you fall down? Would you fall down? This wicked city has dragged you down, and you're with the red lights, your side of town. Don't say it's easy to follow a process. There's nothing harder than keeping a promise. Blood runs through your veins, that's where the similarity ends. Blood runs through our veins. Blood runs through your veins, that's where the similarity ends. Blood runs through our veins. There's nothing believable in being honest. So cover your lies up with another promise. Blood runs through your veins. That's where the similarity ends. Blood runs through our veins. Blood runs through your veins. That's where the similarity ends. Blood runs through our veins. Blood runs through your veins. That's where the similarity ends. Blood runs through our veins. If there's hope in your heart, it will flow to every part. If there's hope in your heart.
Morning becomes eclectic at 89.9 KCRW, and our guests in studio this morning are editors. Is it editors or the editors? I was just
It
looking
is
at the
editors,
CD.
isn't it? Yeah, but either way's
editor.
fine, you know. It's
Yeah.
it's not going to get us down.
I say this every now and then, and for those who've heard me say it before, you know, Cocteau twins won't talk to you if you call them the Cocteau twins. Well, they're not talking to anybody now because they don't exist. But back in the day, if you said the Cocteau twins, it was that was the end of the interview right there. So
We'll still talk to you.
thanks. Again, welcome to the program. I'm actually in New York today at the Museum of TV and Radio. I had to be here for a couple of things, but you guys are in our studios in Los Angeles, and I know you're heading over here later on this week. Is this the first mini tour in the States?
It is, yeah. First time we've been out. We've only been out once before, and that was to Nashville we went for about 24 hours, and then did a gig, and then went home. So this is our first proper trip to the States.
Well, I have to ask, why were you in Nashville for 24 hours? What kind of gig was that?
Do you have to ask, really?
It was
No, I don't. If you don't want to answer it.
Don't ask.
Well,
It was a farce.
Trying to wipe it from our memories, really. But it was a party for Jack Daniels, full of
English people.
people drinking free Jack Daniels. I'm sure you can imagine what it was like.
I can actually, yeah. I've been down Broad Street. So it's Tom Smith. Chris, how do I pronounce your last name? I'm sorry.
Have a go. I challenge you.
Thanks. Urbanovitz.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's all right. It's Urbanovich,
All right.
if I was going to be splitting
Okay.
hairs, but I'm not.
Ed Lay and Russell Leach. So I don't know if you know this. The interesting thing for me about hearing your music, and I've said this a couple of times on the air in recent months, is that you guys are based in Birmingham, which is where I'm from many moons ago. And I haven't actually heard of any bands coming out of Birmingham for quite some time. Now, last year I did an interview with the Birmingham Post and Evening Mail about the artist Gem. They were asking me about her because we'd played her demos way before she got signed. And at the end of the interview, I asked the guy, I said, so what's going on in Birmingham? He said, there's this great band called The Editors. And he sent me your CD, which is how we got it. It's amazing how things happen. But give us a little bit of history about the band, if you can. When did the band start and where?
We met at university, and that was probably about 5 years ago now, and we've kind of been living together and ever since. And we're all doing the same course, and our kind of music grew out of our friendship. And when we finished university, that's when we moved to Birmingham to try and get a deal, and we were there for about a year to 2 years before we got that deal. And we'll always be seen as a Birmingham band, but none of us are really Brummies, with the exception of Russell, who's nearly a Brummie, but he lives in Solihull, so it doesn't really count.
No, Solihull is, it's above Birmingham, really, isn't it?
The highest amount of lottery millionaires in the country live in Solihull.
It used to be the expensive part of town. I remember that. So tell us about the influences on this band. I mean, how long you said you met at five years ago, but when did you actually sort of start getting serious about this? And tell us about some of the music that you guys listen to.
It was about a year later, really, when this kind of first Strokes record came out, and the first Elbow record came out, and we'd kind of bonded over those two records when we came back from our holiday after our first year at university, and we just all realised that we were playing that we were listening to the same music. We all played different instruments, so we thought we all lived together. So we thought we might as well form a little band like the Brady Bunch.
Exactly like the Brady Bunch.
With tunes.
But when you were living together, then this was just like you guys were living in the same house, and the band sort of came out of that.
Yeah, I mean, we were all doing a music, it kind of based around music course, but I think we all wanted to be performers rather than, the course was a technology course, so it's kind of engineering and stuff like that, and, you know, when you go to university, you increase the likelihood of meeting like-minded people, and that's what you need to do to form a band, I think, and we got lucky when we met each other.
Well, again, what kind of music have you guys listened to? What informs the music of Editors?
My favourite band's R.E.M. and their first Murmur and Reckoning are my favourite two albums. That's for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Strokes for me was pretty important getting me back into rock and roll because I'd gone on a bit of a dance music hiatus after Britpop imploded. And after that, I guess I got on like bands like the Walkmen, and I got into the Bunnymen later on, so bands like that.
Well, we're trying to make kind of, I guess, exciting, passionate guitar music, and anything that ticks those boxes, it normally is all right by us.
But it's very danceable, isn't it? It's interesting. You talk about taking a detour into dance music, but there's something very danceable about your music.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that comes from playing live as well, and the kind of energy you get from a room when you're playing songs like that. And there are two sides to what we do. There's that side, and there are songs that are a bit slower and a bit more thought out. But yeah, we definitely like to see audiences moving. And we like to move them as well, both emotionally.
You know, when I was over in England over the holidays, and we were down in London doing our show for a week, initially we had thought about trying to get you guys on while we were down there, but then we found out you were coming out, so that's how that happened, I guess. But I was seeing a lot of press on the band, and I was seeing a lot of posters on the London Underground. It seems like you had a pretty good year back over in the UK.
Oh, it's been amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's grown as our single came out this time last year, and we've kind of from that, we've toured constantly, and our first single, this time last year, and
which was Bullets, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and just I don't know, the audiences have grown, word of mouth seems to have spread, and the press have. I mean, we've never been championed, but we've always been, people are nice to us, and it's just kind of kept rolling really, and it's still going, and at the moment our album's at number 2 in the charts at midweeks at least. Which is just mental. Which is mental. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And it's on an independent over in the UK, Kitchenware Records. Coming out here, I believe. Does anybody actually know when the release date is here?
Nobody knows. Does anyone know?
Cool.
March.
I'm glad we got that.
March.
So soon, anyway.
Yeah, soon.
And it's coming out through Fader, which is a magazine that's also put a label together.
That's right.
Well, cool, man. I mean, I'm hoping that everything goes well for you over here, and I know you'll be in New York later this week, and we'll try and find out when that is, because we do actually have quite a few people listening over here online. And I'm going to throw it back to you to do our second set. I guess we'll keep an eye on time. I might need you to throw another song in if you can do it, but let's see how it looks.
Okay, we'll have a go.
All right. It's Editors on Morning Becomes Eclectic.
Cheers, Nick. Keep close to me now. I'll be your guide. Once we have black hearts, then love dies. Look at us through the lens of a camera. Does it remove all of our pain? If we run, they'll look in the back room.
where we hide all of our feelings. I just close my eyes as you walk out. I'll keep your eyes wide open tonight. Keep the car on the road now. Feel love bites. Look at us through the lens of a camera. Does it remove all of our pain? Well, if they run, look in the back room where we hide all of our feelings. I just close my eyes as you walk out. You fall from grace, but fall with such grace. You fall from grace, but fall with such grace. Oh, you fall from grace, but fall with such grace. Now you fall from grace, but you fall with such grace. Look at us through the lens of the camera. Does it remove all of our pain? If we run, they'll look in the back room where we hide all of our secrets. I just close my eyes as you walk. 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 I just close my eyes as you walk out.
Yeah. Yes.
advertisements from your lips to keep them quiet. What they need to hear. Oh, you're the night, the dirty night, you keep us going. There's no one left to fear. As the sun goes down on a broken town and the fingers bleed in the factories, come on out tonight, come and see the side of the ones you love and the ones you love, and you keep it with me, keep it with me, keep it with me, keep it with me. Smile for once, for a moment, it makes us happy. What we need is here. Oh, you're the night, the dirty night, you keep us going. There's everything to fear. As the sun goes down on a broken town and the fingers bleed in the factories, come on out tonight, come and see the side of the ones you love and the ones you love, and you keep it with me, keep it with me, keep it with me, keep it with me. As the sun goes down on a broken town and the fingers bleed in the factories, come on out tonight, come and see the side of the ones you love and the ones you love, and you keep it with me, 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 keep it with me.
Morning becomes eclectic at 89.9 KCRW. Guests in studio are editors. Again, thanks for coming in, guys. We do really appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of this tour. And obviously, hopefully we'll see you back again later in the year for something a little bit bigger. There is a show tonight at CineSpace, which we're going to give away tickets to in just a moment's time. But again, thanks for getting up and coming in this morning.
Thank you for having us, Nick. That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
So very quickly, before we let you go, when we were talking off the air just before we started, and one of you guys actually brought it up, so somebody said, so is it the blue or the claret and blue? And for those who don't know, there are two teams in Birmingham. Football teams, soccer teams. Football, real football with a round ball, not that egg-shaped thing. And the blue team is Birmingham City.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other team is Aston Villa, which is my team. And when I said Villa, there were groans all around in the room. So
More like booze, I'd say. More booze.
Yeah, there were boos all around. So is that because you're all Birmingham City fans? Because that really, it sucks.
There were some. It's mainly our management, so you can blame them. But there were definitely some blue fans.
Yeah, yeah. I support 2 times European Champions League winners Nottingham Forest anyway, so I'm neutral. But
God,
if anything,
30 years ago, my friend.
Come on, give me a bit. 25 years ago.
Well, again, thanks for coming in, guys. All the best, and hope to actually meet you in person next time.
Yeah,
Nice
thanks for
one.
having us.
Morning becomes eclectic as we wrap up our program for the morning. I'm in New York City, and my thanks to everybody here at the Museum of TV and Radio for helping out today, and Liz Jennings in particular. Going to give away some copies of the editor's CD in just a moment's time, as well as a chance to see them at CineSpace in Hollywood tonight. This is subscriber-supported 89.9 KCRW Santa Monica, KCRI Indio Palm Springs, KCRU Oxnard Ventura, KCRY Mojave Antelope Valley. Handpicked music and NPR News, streaming and podcasting at KCRW.com. We are a community service of Santa Monica College. My thanks to the editors, to Jeremy Bates, to Rob Whitaker at Zoop Music, Mario Diaz, our sound engineer this morning, assisted by J.C. Swatek. Joe Harwick was our sound intern. Marty Matulis, our web video producer. J.P. Costello, our board up back in Los Angeles. And Paul Shapiro, our production assistant. Special thanks, as always, when we have a band on, Jason Groman and John Lewis. Ariana Morgenstern produces our program. So tonight, KCRW presents the editors at CineSpace in Hollywood. Go down and see them. I think you're going to enjoy it. We have 5 pairs of tickets to go see the editors at CineSpace tonight at 9. Our winners will also receive an autographed copy of the album Back Room. If you've not won anything from us in the last 90 days, call us with your member number at 877-600-KCRW. That's 877-600-5279. Tickets and CDs available to our subscribers only, and it is first come, first served. As we wrap up our Tuesday morning, thanks for joining us. We do appreciate your company. We have news at the top of the hour and then to the point with Warren Olney. This program will be archived for the next 24 hours until the next one airs at kcrw.com. You can also check out our music channel at kcrwmusic.com. It's 12 noon. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I'll be back in Los Angeles tomorrow.